What do the current mining wage talks mean to the Lily Mine workers? Why are the Lily Mine owners planning to take legal action against AfroCan Resources? What is retarding progress towards the recovery of the 3 trapped mine workers? Has the Mineral Resources Department done enough to help address the Lily Mine problems? What time is it? It's question time. Welcome to the show. My name is Mpumalanga. It is now 5 months since a mine shaft collapsed at the Vantage Goldfields-owned Lily Mine outside Barberton, Mpumalanga. While 76 workers were rescued, 3 miners still remain trapped in a container underground. Rescue efforts that cost the mine millions of rands never materialized, and that operation has since been put on hold. Lily Mine applied to be put under business rescue a few months after the disaster, and its workers have not received their salaries since March. COSATU says it is disappointed by the government's lack of action and commitment to address the current challenges at the mine. Meanwhile, the Lily Mine owners are set to take AfroCan Resources to court. This after the Canadian company reneged on its commitment to invest more than 150 million rand in Vantage Goldfields. We are live, and therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial is 0891104210. If you're outside the borders, 00278911042110. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. My guest today, Sizwe Pamla, is the Congress of South African Trade Unions COSATU spokesperson. Rob Devereux is the business rescue practitioner for Lily Mine. Gentlemen, let me welcome you both.
Good day.
I'm going to ask you this question. What is your job? What do you do at that mine?
What I do is, once a company is placed into business rescue,
yes,
I appoint a business rescue practitioner, and that person basically steps into the shoes of management and of the board,
okay,
and takes control of the business, and that person is responsible to devise a plan, rescue the business, and then give it back to the owners in a state where it's a healthy business and healthy company.
Okay, at the moment, what's the state of affairs?
The state of affairs is we have published a business rescue plan that has been accepted by the stakeholders, and that plan has 4 prongs to it. So the first prong is to develop a new incline, that's a new shaft. What that will do is reopen the mine, preserve jobs. But prior to that, the shaft will be developed in such a manner that it goes into the area where we believe the container is. Then there will be a retrieval operation to retrieve the container. And then in a further 2-3 months, the mine will be reopened. The next step is to redeploy people to the Barberton mine to save jobs. At the same time, we will rework an old mine dump,
okay,
which will save more jobs. And then we will embark on a training program, which is the 4th prong of the business rescue plan.
That sounds very much like a business plan for me.
Yeah.
And currently, you already have a situation where workers have not been paid any salaries since March.
Yeah. What had happened is a negotiation started with AfroCan and Vantage prior to the collapse of the Crown Pillar. That was in December, January. At the time of the disaster, AfroCan pulled out of the negotiations and they came back to the table. And then around about May, June, they agreed to fund about 170 million rand. And obviously they pulled out. Now, those monies were to be used to develop the shaft and to pay workers their wages. So that is a bit of a setback. So what we've done is we've sold some assets in the group, and those monies are being used to up the production in Barberton and to start the rework of the mine dump. So that will give people employment from a month from now. We've also offered people voluntary severance so that they can access UIF and the Provident Fund in the interim so that they can survive.
What does COSATU say?
Well, for us, we are disappointed by the fact that both government and the company say very little about the workers who are still trapped. We just don't believe that they've done enough, especially when it comes to government. Last time we had anything from government was when the minister went there and made some promises that remain unfulfilled until today, to say workers were going to receive 200,000, the families of the trapped ones, and then other workers were going to get 50,000.
Yes.
Workers have not seen a cent. Now, we have a situation where you have families who still have not received closure.
Yes.
And no one is talking about their families. All we get told is that, well, it's very expensive. Of course, it's very expensive. Now, what are we going to do about it? It can't be that we just erase those people. So the position of the Federation is that we are very happy to hear that actually there are attempts to preserve jobs, because that is very crucial for us at this time where we've seen so many retrenchments across the mining sector. But the position of COSATU is, let's go back and talk about those people who are trapped underground. It can be that both the department and Lily Mine cannot find a solution and the resources to make sure that we rescue those trapped miners.
What is the mine saying about those trapped miners?
Yeah, I think those are upmost in our minds. If you recall, the Crown Pillar or the disaster, the collapse, happened on the 5th of February. And during that time, there were further 3 attempts to retrieve the container.
Yes.
It was then decided that it was too dangerous to continue. And
Well,
that decision was made as a collective. There were 3 or 4 specialists, university and worldwide specialists, that investigated
But why is it more important to consider that it is too dangerous to retrieve as opposed to having considered that it was too dangerous to work?
Well, the mine at the moment is closed. So there is
to
no
work then, when the workers eventually got trapped.
In terms of that collapse, that is what we define as a force majeure. No one expected it. None of the experts, nor anyone in the mine. There were regular inspections in the mine. And at the moment, there is an extensive investigation going on as to why that collapse occurred.
So what form of support are you giving to the families of those miners?
We've engaged with the Social and Welfare Department.
That's not your responsibility, that's government. What are you doing?
As Lily Mine.
Yes.
What we are doing is we do engage government because it is our responsibility to make sure that they have the proper counselling, etc. And we do that as a collective with government. In terms of the monies that were owed or the promises made, those were made by government. We have, as the mine, assumed that responsibility, and those monies are part of the fundraising efforts that we require. What we are doing is engaging with the families regarding their provident funds and death benefits, and those are in the process of being put into the correct places that it is most efficient for those family members that remain. One of the things is that we have to recognise at some stage that the employees are deceased, and that is a step further that we can only get to once that is acknowledged by the families.
As COSATU, surely your interest must be the workers' well-being.
Yeah.
One, they haven't been paid for so long, possibility of losing those jobs that they probably have lost already. And let's not even talk about the families of those ones whom you have referred to as not having received closure. What are you going to do to ensure that these jobs are secured?
Well, as COSATU, we do the best that we can in the circumstances. Firstly, one of the issues that complicates the matters at Lily Mine is the fact that AMCU is the majority union. And NUM is represented but has got a very minuscule membership there. But as a federation of workers, we took a conscious decision to pass a resolution in the 12th Congress that we are not just going to support those workers who are our own members. We are going to support all workers who need solidarity and support from the federation. Sure. So we have tried to engage on numerous occasions with the Lily Mine management to make sure that, firstly, the issue doesn't die down, because all of a sudden we noticed that, as we've pointed out, that no one is still focused really on talking about those trapped workers. Secondly, here's the issue that we have. If the mine is unsafe for you to rescue the workers, how do you then take the ones who are there and say you are finding ways of reopening the mine? What security guarantees are you able to give to the workers that the ones that you are going to send underground will not experience the same fate? It can't be that workers are treated like disposable tools. Once they get broken, we look for the new ones and we find solutions. We want those workers not to lose those jobs. But it can't be that we haven't seen any investigation actually as to what led to the accident itself. So all of those things, we have said to the department, we want an investigation. We want to find out what led to the accident. If anyone is found to be accountable, let us hold those individuals accountable, because we are not going to allow workers to be sent underground when we are being told that it's unsafe to rescue workers. So why is it safe to send them back to work?
Simpiwa, you're in Welcome. Welcome.
Hello, Dad. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call, Simpiwa.
Yes, I want to ask the COSATU. I want to ask the person of the COSATU.
Yes.
About those people who are not getting a salary.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't get salary. They don't get nothing. They're still waiting for UIF, or they're still waiting for money to government. Can you get my point?
No, not very well. Are you saying, well, they are saying, yes, indeed, people are not getting salaries since March.
Since March?
Yes.
I'm thinking they must have found the thing, maybe to make a thing to those guys, they must get a food or something, because they are a big union. They must not depend to government or to the mine.
Okay, Simpiwa, I get your point now. Thank you very much and welcome. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with our discussion. This is Question Time.
There is a sign for perfectionism. There's a sign for goosebumps. Something that symbolizes more performance. A sign for a special mindset. There is a sign for everything we stand for. Audi Sport, born on the track. Built for the road. Join the League of Performance.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today, Sizwe Pamla, is COSATU spokesperson, whereas Rob Deverix is the business rescue practitioner for Lily Mine. Gentlemen, and we're taking your calls, by the way, viewers there at home. If you are in Mpumalanga or in a mining sector or have a view that you would like to express in as far as the Lily Mine incident is concerned, the numbers to dial 0891104210. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. Indeed, we'll be more than willing to take your call there. Suing the company, AfroCan, how is it going to help?
That is a decision made by the Australian holding company. They believe they will sue them either for damages, they will investigate and quantify the damages, or sue them for specific performance. And that is really in their hands, and I know the attorneys are dealing with it, and the necessary correspondence has taken place.
Is there a future here?
Certainly for the Lily Mine, yes. Obviously, one looks at the life of mine. There's a life of mine, that is how long we expect to mine gold.
Yes.
That will be in the region of 10 years. The quality of the ore is good. And then again, you know, it is good job preservation. And with the rand-dollar exchange rate, it makes economic sense to continue. So it is certainly a viable operation and a viable company.
Have people been, or rather money been put before people here? Profit before human life?
Yes, definitely. In fact, the mining sector as a whole, that's what it has been doing for hundreds of years. We've seen of late the cases of silicosis sufferers. Those are the people who have actually carried this economy of this country on their backs for years, and they have been abandoned. It takes litigation for mine owners to actually do the right thing in this country. This is a continuation, which is the position that we are taking as a federation, to say we've been raising the issue of how workers are exploited and abandoned by the mining sector for quite a long time. So we think that it's about time we make a stand and say that as much as we have an appreciation of the difficulties of bringing those workers to the surface, we are not going to allow a situation where we have discussions and discourses that forgets or sort of like lives outside those workers. Secondly, if we want to repeat this, if it is dangerous to bring those workers to the surface, why is it that we believe that it is not dangerous to send people back there to mine again?
Okay,
because no investigation has been done to ascertain as to what led to the tragic accident.
Bakang, you are in Pretoria.
Good evening, Paul, and your viewers, your panel there.
Thank you very much for the call, Bakang.
Paul, I'm very much concerned about this. I've got nothing to do with the mines and all that, but the souls of the three kept Lily Mine workers, it's a pain, I think, to each and every South African, all right?
Yeah.
I don't think the mines are doing much. The Lily Mine are doing much. And my concern has been, I'm very sorry to go into this, but if it was actually the three white miners who were trapped, were they going to treat this whole situation the same? Was the approach going to be the same? Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you...
Yeah, look, I think let's just look at the situation. We had a mine that was safe to mine, and then we had a collapse. The collapse is of such a magnitude that it is the mine does not operate at all. It is unsafe to walk in the area. So to expect someone of any race to go underground and place lives at risk, we cannot allow that. So we will only do that once we've done the proper decline and it is safe to go and collect the containers and retrieve the bodies. And we have experts. So with respect, the mining that will be reopened will be justified by experts with a DMR and all concerned to make sure that the mining is safe. And at the same time, the Lily Mine, certainly we believe in safe mining. So to put further lives at risk is not an option.
How far true are the allegations that the Zamazamas in fact, said they've been down there, they've seen the container.
Yeah, that is an allegation. Certainly from a Zama Zama point of view, we have taken measures to secure the mine. Certainly the mine operational directors and people involved in the rescue, they know more or less where the container is and the circumstances of how the container is housed. So it is highly unlikely that that container was seen by the Zama Zamas.
Well, it has always been unlikely that there's gold, but the Zama Zamas bring it out.
Indeed.
Lucky you are in Beggarsford.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes. My question, sir, is with regard to the mine site. I wanted to know, since I've heard that the mine workers have not been paid ever since the mine was closed. And then currently, according to the guys, what they are depending now, they are asking the guys to get the...
Lucky, I'm battling to hear you.
Pardon?
I'm battling to hear you. Are you able to speak a little louder?
Okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm saying since the mine wasn't paying the guys since they closed.
Yes.
And then what currently they are trying to do is to help the mine workers to get proven funds together with UIF from Department of Labor.
Yes.
My question was that according to their financial projections and provisions, didn't they make any kind of provision for this kind of disasters for the purpose of the mine workers or the employees in general?
Okay.
And then the other thing is with regard to the compensation the compensation for injuries and others. Basically, I wanted to know what are they doing basically to help those guys who are basically trapped underground. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think they are busy paying for their premiums with the Department of Labor. So is there any kind of mechanism that they are doing in order to recover some kinds of money for the families that are grieving?
Okay, thank you very much. One, was the mine insured?
Yes, the mine was insured. Unfortunately, the disaster of this magnitude, which is called the force majeure, is an uninsurable event. It's excluded. The insurance policies call that an act of God. So although it was insured, the insurance companies do not pay out, and that is a standard, an international standard, unfortunately.
It's an act of God.
Yeah. It is defined as an act of God. The collapse of the crown pillar is something that is unexplainable. It is not as if you're driving down a road in your car and you don't stop at a stop street and you hit someone. That is an insurable event. When it cannot be defined, or it's called a force majeure, it is an uninsurable event, and that is a standard clause in insurance contracts.
Why are you failing to get this rectified, Kosatu?
No. What he has just said, last time we marched to Lily Mine, we had a memorandum. In that memorandum, we called on the department to conduct an investigation to find out what led to the accident. The fact that the insurance itself has made that determination without any investigation having been conducted to ascertain as to whether it was an act of God or not. What about if there was a human factor there? Because if you are going to have a sinkhole and then you happen to also drill underground and there are tunnels underneath, it can be about the union's failure to stick to health and safety regulations. So that is not an act of God.
Yes,
so
God can't be sinking holes there.
Correct.
What evidence do we have that it was an act of God? So the whole thing about Lily Mine points to the fact that a lot has not been properly done. So why as the Federation we are taking a position to say we are not going to allow both the department and the mine management to get away with what we consider to be a very serious transgression.
Okay.
Yeah, can I just comment on that? There's a process.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time. But what we have done here on Question Time is to say we will never keep quiet about Lily Mine until it is resolved. So you shall return one day.
Most welcome.
Thank you. That was Question Time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. Let's meet again next time. Goodbye.